Our next project setting is the Time Manager. The Time Manager allows us to actually work with the time inside of the game, the speed at which the game is going to progress, as well as with some of the physics calculations that are performed. The first option that we're going to see is the fixed time step. The fixed time step, this is a frame rate independent interval, and it's going to dictate when the physics calculations are actually performed on the objects that we're using. Now, what is it that we actually would be performing a physics calculation on? This could be player movement, this could be boxes falling and colliding and things like that. Now, the lower we go with this number, the smaller this value is, the more accurate our physics simulation is going to be. Now, it's going to take more of a hit on our CPU, so we have to be careful where we put this and how we manage this, depending on what we're actually looking for from our game. If our game is a physics game, physics-based game, then we may want to work with these numbers in a different way than if it was an FPS or, say, an RTS-styled game. Below that, we have the maximum allowed time step. Now, this is saying, where do we cap out at? Where do we say, this is as far as we go before we stop it so that we don't actually break anything? Now, again, just like by decreasing the value here, we could also decrease the value here. I would suggest no lower than a 0.1, and that's if your game is really physics dependent. Below that, we have our time scale. The time scale is the speed at which the time progresses inside of our game. So right now we have it set to 1. If we were to, let's say, wanting to increase the speed of our game, we could double that. We could say, let's put that to 2, and that would double the speed of our game. Or if we were trying to do a slow motion scene, we could simply, half that. Let's take it back to a 0.5, and that would be the half speed, and that would give us this slow motion style effect.